The 67-year-old accounting clerk had never figured out how to use a smartphone, couldn't operate the coffee machine app. The young IT specialist whispered behind her back, calling her digitally hopeless. Until 3:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, when every computer in the building froze, and Margaret quietly said 5 words that changed everything. "I've seen this pattern before." From which city in the world are you watching this video today? If this story excites you, consider subscribing to our channel for more tales of silent heroes and unexpected expertise. The 23rd floor office of Meridian Financial buzzed with the usual morning rush. In the modern open-plan workspace surrounded by glass walls, hundreds of employees focused on their computer screens while sipping their coffee. In the small accounting section in the corner, Margaret Chen sat at her old model computer, reading glasses perched on the tip of her nose, navigating the keyboard with 2 fingers. "Look at that," said Tyler Morrison, the 24-year-old systems administrator, turning to his friend Jake Williams. "She's still typing with 1 finger. By the time I'm her age, I'll be writing software at the speed of thought." Jake shook his head, trying to suppress his laughter. "Yesterday, she asked me what a PDF was. PDF, in 2024. She acted like she'd discovered the digital version of a fax machine." On the other side of the IT department, 26-year-old cybersecurity specialist Sarah Chen, sharing the same last name with Margaret was pure coincidence, was reviewing the latest security reports. "That woman still uses Internet Explorer," she said, smiling. "I think she believes the internet is a newly discovered continent." Did these conversations reach Margaret's ears? It wasn't clear. She just continued working. She had been sitting at the same accounting desk for 15 years, using the same thermos water bottle, taking breaks at the same times. She seemed like a routine machine. Meridian Financial's general manager, Richard Hayes, had paid a visit to the IT department that morning. The company had undergone a major digital transformation in the last 6 months, and Hayes wanted to see the return on these investments. "How's our security situation?" he asked Tyler while touring the ultra-modern IT center. Tyler puffed out his chest. "Sir, we have state-of-the-art firewalls, AI-supported threat detection, 24/7 monitoring. No hacker can penetrate our system." Hayes nodded approvingly. "What about the human factor?" "Employee cybersecurity awareness," Sarah interjected. "Generally good, sir, but we have some older employees. Margaret in accounting, for example. Yesterday she wrote her email password on a sticky note and pasted it on her monitor. We tried to give her a security briefing, but—" "Zero technical skills," Tyler completed the sentence. "But harmless. She only does simple accounting work, no access to critical systems." At that moment, Margaret was working with an Excel file at her desk. Numbers and formulas were visible on her screen, but if you looked carefully, those numbers weren't ordinary accounting records. Port numbers, IP addresses, network traffic analysis. Margaret's desk was a secret observation point she used to monitor the company's network movements. During lunch break, the young IT team was talking about Margaret in the cafeteria. "I'm banging my head against the wall," said Jake, biting into his sandwich. "Yesterday, I tried to explain cloud storage to her." "What if it rains?" she said. "Rain? I'm talking about cloud computing, and she thinks it's a weather report." Sarah laughed. "At least she's harmless. Imagine if she tried to handle our company data." But Tyler's smile seemed a bit forced. There was a small anomaly that had caught his attention that morning. He had noticed some queries in the system logs. Very sophisticated, very professional. But who was doing these? At 3:30 p.m., the office had a normal afternoon atmosphere. Most employees had returned from their coffee break. Margaret was working quietly at her desk, as always. A table was visible on her screen, but if you looked closely, you could tell this wasn't an accounting table. It was a network topology map, and Margaret's finger movements weren't amateur at all. At 3:47 p.m., everything changed. Suddenly, all screens went black. Then a red message appeared. Your systems have been compromised. $2 million ransom must be paid within 24 hours or all data will be deleted. Bitcoin wallet 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D. The office erupted into panic. Tyler rushed to his computer, frantically pressing keys. Sarah was trying to access the security server. Jake was on the phone with technical support. "What the hell is happening?" Tyler shouted. "How were the firewalls breached?" Sarah was sweating. "All security protocols have been bypassed. How is this possible?" That's when, at the peak of office panic, Margaret Chen calmly stood up. She adjusted her reading glasses and said 5 words. "I've seen this pattern before." The IT team turned to her. Tyler with an angry expression. "Margaret, now is not the time. We're facing a serious cyber attack." Margaret didn't respond. She simply approached Tyler's computer and said, "May I?" Tyler was about to protest, but Margaret's fingers dancing on the keyboard silenced him. Not with 2 fingers, with all 10, like a professional hacker. She opened the command line, started ping tests, analyzed network packets, wrote code, and did all of this at a speed Tyler had never seen. How? Jake began to stutter. Margaret didn't speak. She just continued working. Matrix-like codes flowed on her screen. She was tracing the attacker's IP, analyzing the malware signature, and finally, "Found it," she said calmly. "Attacker is Eastern Europe-based. Encryption protocol is 1997 vintage. Backdoor access is IRC-based," Sarah asked in amazement. "Which IRC channel?" Margaret smiled. "Darknet 23, old acquaintances." She brought her fingers back to the keyboard. This time what she did was counterattack the attacker's own system. She launched a counter-offensive, accessed the hacker's computer camera, encrypted their files, and finally left a message on the attacker's screen. "Game over. Your turn now." Phantom trace. All screens in the office returned to normal. Data came back. The system was restored, as if nothing had happened. Tyler stared at Margaret with his mouth open. Are you Phantom Trace?" Margaret removed her reading glasses. "I haven't heard that name in a long time," Sarah asked with shock. "Phantom Trace? Is that you?" "The NSA's legendary cyber agent. Retired," Margaret said simply. 15 years ago, I worked in the cyber warfare division at the NSA. I caught the most dangerous hackers. Then I got tired. I wanted a quiet life, accounting work, less stress." Jake was still in shock. "But you don't know technology. You don't know what a PDF is." Margaret smiled slightly. "I'm not ignorant of technology. It's my cover. No one suspects a cybersecurity expert. Everyone suspects an accountant. That's why I act like an accountant." Tyler asked, "But why? Why such a game?" Margaret looked toward the window. "Because, Tyler, real security comes from silence. The best protection is protection that no one notices. I've been quietly protecting this company for 15 years. Every night I checked the system, identified weak points, cleaned up small intrusions. None of you noticed?" Sarah asked curiously. "So today's attack? Not the first. There have been 47 attack attempts in the last 3 years. I handled 46 of them without you noticing. This time, it was a bit bigger. I had to intervene." Richard Hayes had rushed down to the IT department after hearing about the incident. He was surprised to find Margaret facing him. "Margaret, Tyler told me you did incredible things." Margaret calmly said, "I just did my job, Mr. Hayes." Hayes insisted, "But you're in the accounting department." 8 hours a day accounting, nights, cybersecurity consulting, freelance, free for this company. Tyler asked the question on his mind. "Why didn't you tell any of us?" Margaret thought. "Because, Tyler, the safest secret is the secret no one knows. If I had told you, your behaviors would have changed. People would expect protection from me. I prefer to be an observer." Sarah asked curiously, "What about our security system?" Did you build it? Number, you built it. I just improved it. Secretly. I applied patches, closed back doors, placed honeypots. Your firewall is strong, but not enough. The layers I added, that's the real protection. Hayes asked, Margaret, how much can we pay you? CTO position? Cybersecurity chief? Margaret shook her head. No, Mr. Hayes. I'll continue to be an accounting clerk and continue to protect this system at night. But now I'll be a little more open. Tyler apologetically. Margaret, for our past jokes. Margaret raised her hand. Tyler, keep joking. My camouflage needs to continue. Hackers should continue to think I'm a normal accountant. Jake asked. But why? Why so much secrecy? Margaret looked toward the window. The city lights were blinking. Jake, in the cyber world, the most dangerous person is the one whose existence no one knows about. I'm a ghost, phantom. Enemies who don't know I exist can't catch me. Sarah asked curiously. Your story at the NSA? Margaret's eyes misted. I served the world for 15 years, caught thousands of hackers. But Sarah, there's an age limit in this business. Young hackers write code faster. I realized it was time to retire, but I couldn't completely give it up. That's why I became a silent guardian. Hayes was thoughtful. Margaret, if you hadn't been here, this company would probably have gone under 6 months ago. Do you remember that DDoS attack, the day you called server maintenance? It was actually an 8-hour cyber war alone.